wealthiest people you'll ever encounter are completely invisible. They're not driving Lamborghinis, they're probably sitting next to you right now, at a coffee shop, in a waiting room, on a flight in economy. And you'd never know they have 7, 8, maybe 9 figures quietly compounding somewhere. Wealth, real wealth, doesn't announce itself. Here are 7 signs that give it away. And more importantly, why adopting even a few of these habits could fundamentally change your financial trajectory. Sign 1. They live in a modest home well below what they can afford. Most people stretch their mortgage to the absolute limit of what the bank will approve. The quietly wealthy do the opposite. Their home looks almost too modest for their income, and many own it outright, no mortgage, and will never once bring that up in conversation. Here's why this matters. A large home isn't just a large payment. It's a multiplier on every other expense. More square footage means more to furnish, more to clean, more to maintain. Landscapers, pool service, utilities scaled up. And once you're in a big home, you're psychologically anchored to it. Downsizing feels like failure, even when it's the smarter move. The quietly wealthy understand that a home is shelter, not a status symbol. They'd rather have the equity working silently than have the square footage working against them. Sign 2, they drive a car that's 5 to 10 years old, paid off, no lease, no $800 monthly payment on a depreciating asset, no vanity plates. They're driving a reliable, older vehicle. And they chose it deliberately. Here's the math they've already done. A $700 monthly car payment is $8,400 a year. Over 10 years invested at a modest 8% return, that's north of $130,000. That's the actual cost of the payment, not just the payment itself. They also understand depreciation curves. A vehicle loses the steepest portion of its value in the first 3 to 5 years. By year 6 or 7, the curve flattens dramatically. A 5-year-old car with 50,000 miles has already absorbed the worst of it. To the quietly wealthy, a car moves you from point A to point B. They'd rather be wealthy than look wealthy. Sign 3. They ask detailed questions about small purchases, but don't hesitate on necessary large ones. You might watch a quietly wealthy person spend 30 minutes researching a $25 travel adapter on Amazon, reading every review, watching comparison videos, and then write a $15,000 check for a new roof the same afternoon without a second thought. This isn't contradiction, it's precision. The $25 adapter is a want. There are dozens of options. Finding the best value matters because that habit, repeated across hundreds of small decisions over a year, compounds into real savings. The $15,000 roof is a necessity. Delaying it costs more. So they act decisively without emotion. This is a self-made wealth habit. The discipline that built the money is the same discipline that protects it at the granular level. Sign 4. They've mastered the ability to wait. Most people buy the moment they want something. The quietly wealthy treat time as a filter. They'll research a purchase for months, wait for a genuine discount, and sometimes arrive at the conclusion that they don't actually need it at all. They also know that most sales are manufactured. A sale is a discount off a number that someone else invented. If you wait long enough, almost everything eventually reaches its real price. Or you realize you never needed it. The principle underneath this is delayed gratification, arguably the most powerful wealth-building concept that exists. You cannot build meaningful wealth without the ability to say not yet. Most people can't exercise delayed gratification for 24 hours. The quietly wealthy apply it across decades. Sign 5. They spend money on things you'd never see. The quietly wealthy do spend, just not on what most people spend on. Their money goes toward 3 categories that are largely invisible: time, rare experiences, and minor conveniences. Time is the only truly finite resource, so they spend to buy it back without announcing it. A private chef saves 10 hours a week. A car service eliminates the cognitive load of a commute. A direct flight instead of a layover isn't a luxury to them, it's arithmetic. For hobbies, they collect things that are rare, appreciating, and deeply personal. Fine wine, original art, vintage timepieces. Not because they want to show it, but because once your basic needs are covered, differentiation becomes more interesting than accumulation. Sign 6. They are deliberate about their image. The quietly wealthy understand something most people don't. Visible success creates invisible friction. Even well-meaning people carry a quiet undercurrent of comparison. And the wealthy, particularly those who've built it themselves, know that announcing what you have only invites resentment, scrutiny, and unwanted attention. So when asked directly about money, they deflect without lying. I've done all right. We're comfortable. I certainly know people doing better than me. This isn't false modesty, it's strategic clarity. They have nothing to prove, and they've known that for a long time. There's also a security dimension that most people don't consider. Broadcasting wealth is a liability. The quietly wealthy treat their financial life the way a serious investor treats their portfolio. Private, protected, and not subject to public opinion. Sign 7, time wealth and aggressive unavailability. One of the most telling signs of secret wealth is how a person handles their time. In a world driven by the hustle economy, truly wealthy individuals possess a level of scheduling freedom that looks entirely different from the average professional. They aggressively protect their peace, routinely turning down lucrative opportunities or social events simply because they don't feel like attending. They are notoriously difficult to reach. Furthermore, they frequently dedicate vast amounts of time to highly specialized, non-monetizable hobbies. Ultimately, while flashy wealth says, "Look at what I can buy," secret wealth says, "Look at what I don't have to do." True affluence isn't about owning luxury goods. It is about owning your own clock and living with total autonomy. Real wealth is built in silence, compounded in patience, and protected by discretion. None of these 7 signs require a high income to adopt right now. They're habits. And habits don't care what's in your account today. They determine what's in it 10 years from now. If this reframed how you think about money, follow along. More of this every week.